welcome back to another episode of MEW or Matt's Extreme Wrestling, where today we have for you the MEW Wrestlemania Night One predictions video. And this is the very first predictions video that I will be doing. I've wanted to do this for a while, and I think I figured out how to do this. So, how we're going to do this is we're going to run through the entire card, match to match, and I'm just going to predict the winner. And maybe predict some future storylines and everything like that. But let's dive into the predictions of Wrestlemania Night One. Alright guys, so the first match that I am going to be predicting is going to be Drew McIntyre versus Happy Corbin. What I'm thinking for this match is Happy Corbin is going into this undefeated, and Drew McIntyre has beaten Madcap Moss, I think, a few times now. So how I'm going to predict this is I think Drew McIntyre is going to defeat Happy Corbin and give Happy Corbin his first loss. So yeah, that is how I'm predicting it. I am predicting that Drew McIntyre will defeat Happy Corbin. Next up, we have the Mysterios taking on The Miz and Logan Paul. This is a match that I'm not the most excited for, but I'm sure it'll be watchable. I'm sure we'll get some really good high-flying areas from the Mysterios, and I think Logan Paul and The Miz are going to work well together, but if I had to predict the match, I think the Mysterios are going to win. I predict that Rey and Dominic Mysterio will defeat The Miz and Logan Paul. Next up, we have the Usos defending their SmackDown Tag Team Championships against Rick Boogs and Shinsuke Nakamura. Now, this is a match that is really going to say what happens in the main event of Night 2. Because if the Usos retain, then Roman Reigns is more than likely going to retain. If Shinsuke Nakamura and Rick Boogs win, then it is a very good chance that Brock Lesnar's winning the match. So this is kind of a match that if whoever wins is basically going to say who's going to win the main event of Night 2, and I don't want to think of it that way because that could honestly ruin the main event. So I'm not going to think of it that way. I'm going to think of it as two teams battling for one prize. And I would like to see Shinsuke Nakamura and Rick Boogs. I'm predicting that Shinsuke and Rick Boogs are going to defeat the Usos. That is my prediction. Up next, we have the KO show with Kevin Owens and the special guest Stone Cold Steve Austin. And I think everyone kind of has an idea of how this is going to go down. Kevin Owens is going to run his mouth and say that Stone Cold doesn't have it in him anymore, and Stone Cold is going to challenge Kevin Owens to an impromptu match right there on the KO show. And they're going to have a match during the KO show, and I'm predicting that Stone Cold will win that match. If it goes the way that I am thinking, and they have a match during the KO show, I think Stone Cold's going to win. I don't think it'll be a very long match. I think maybe 5 to 10 minutes. I hate saying 5 minutes, but I think it'll be a 5 to 10 minute match. But I am predicting that Stone Cold Steve Austin will win that match if it does come down to a wrestling match. Next up, we have the Raw Women's Championship on the line. Becky Lynch defending against Bianca Belair. Belair obviously winning the Elimination Chamber to earn this opportunity. I'm predicting that Becky will retain. I think Becky Lynch is going to retain only because she is the most dominant that we've seen her in a very long time. And usually they don't take the championship off of a very dominant champion. So I'm predicting that Bianca will win the match, and maybe we'll see Alexa. Honestly, this is going to be the first that I'm going to say a story extension to. I'm predicting that Becky will retain, so hopefully Bianca goes off and does something different, and either Alexa Bliss comes out after the match to issue the challenge, or on Raw after Mania, Becky's giving a promo and Alexa Bliss comes out and says, hey, I want a challenge for the championship. I think that's what's going to happen, but I'm predicting that Becky Lynch will defeat Bianca Belair and retain the championship. So now it is Seth Rollins versus a mystery opponent via Vince McMahon's choice. Now, I'm predicting one of three things that I have seen on watching wrestling. People talk about WWE and everything like that. The first option, and I think the least likely, because he's super busy right now, is we are going to have Seth Rollins versus, but the third option would be John Cena. I think that also might be a little far-fetched if Mr. Cena here will stand. This is the second option for what they're going to do, or the third option would be Seth Rollins versus John Cena as the mystery opponent. But if that ain't the case, this is the second option, and I hope that this ain't it, because he had the most proper send-off you can think of, is that the second option would be Vince McMahon will break the glass and pull The Undertaker out of retirement and will face Seth Rollins in an impromptu match right then and there. I hope this isn't the route that we go, but that is also an option, and I hope this ain't it. But this is the second option. And the first and final option, now this is the option that I think is going to happen the most, is that the rumors are true, and WWE, in fact, did sign the Nightmare Cody Rhodes to a WWE contract, and we, in fact, get Seth Rollins versus Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania. I am 90% sure this is the match we're going to see. And I hope this is the match that we're going to see. I would not mind seeing John Cena versus Seth Rollins, but this is the match I want to see. Now, if I'm predicting one of the matches, I will predict Cody Rhodes versus Seth Rollins, and I think Cody Rhodes is going to win. That's it right then and there. Cody Rhodes, if he is the mystery opponent, will defeat Seth Rollins. Well, we have the New Day taking on Sheamus and Ridge Holland. I think this match is pretty straightforward. I think the New Day will win this match. So I'm predicting New Day will defeat Ridge Holland and Sheamus. Now for the main event of WrestleMania, I'm predicting that this match will in fact be the main event because Ronda Rousey won the Royal Rumble, and that is supposed to give you the main event spot at WrestleMania. Was I happy that Ronda won the Royal Rumble? I don't mind it. I wish it would have went to somebody else, but at the same time, I'm happy that Ronda Rousey won. But the match, they're marketing it, well, not marketing, but they're saying that it'll be the first to submit. So I'm assuming that on SmackDown, we will have heard that it'll be a submission match. I'm almost positive that the main event of WrestleMania for the SmackDown Women's Championship will be a submission match. And I'm predicting that Ronda Rousey will dethrone Charlotte. Ronda Rousey will dethrone Charlotte, and that is how I am predicting that match to go down. That is it for your predictions for WrestleMania Night 1. I hope you guys did enjoy the review today. Well, not review, predictions. If you guys did enjoy, liking the video, commenting down below, and subscribing to the channel are always acceptable. Go follow my Instagram, and I will see you all in the very next review. Have a great day or night wherever you are in the world, and peace!